This was all Master Wayne. Even you got too old to die young. And not for lack of trying. Funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy butterbar, funnel fairy. There's nothing wrong with the microphone. It's this new layer of armor. I just have to
View. You guys ever watch The View?
Not much, I gotta admit.
Anyway, you know what? You don't
been a
really
while.
need to get into that. It's not
Been
exactly like it's not for the faint of heart. But it's the only channel we get at work sometimes. So I'll watch The View here and there. And the one lady stands up. She's decked out, gorgeous blouse on, full makeup, stands up. Not a word of a lie. Adidas fucking basketball shorts, like from when we were kids in the 90s. I was like, oh, those are despicable. That's nice.
Yeah, that's how the whole world is right now.
Oh yeah, it's every work meeting I've done is like pajama pants and like throw a dress shirt on.
Like fucking, that's like a mullet basically, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's the clothing version of a mullet.
Yeah, business in the front.
Yeah. We got some business in the front. We got Suicide Squad trailer. We wanted to talk about the new James Gunn jam.
Yeah.
Well, at least Chris wanted to. I'll be honest. I'm not super excited. But
this makes sense.
You just sound stupid now.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
This is the thing. This is a study in contrasts. Like this beautiful, fun, slick-looking James Gunn production. And Zack Snyder's dour frown fest.
Yeah, no, it's but anyway, let's go through the bits of it. The trailer. I think it does look like a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I don't. But and I know this sounds, but that's all it looks like to me. It just looks like a bunch of fun and I don't know. I know that sounds stupid. It sounds really stupid. Yeah, you're just like, but I just, it's not the kind of why do they have to be dressed up like superheroes for this particular fun? Why are we dealing with this product? They get them to swear and they have them make dick jokes, which admittedly were pretty funny.
Great dick joke, yeah.
Great dick jokes. And and then they cut them loose and they just give it some that James Gunn soundtrack kind of, I'm going to say sort of fun nostalgia is where his shit's at.
Yeah, so he's kind of like he reminds me of almost like he's like a Guy Ritchie Tarantino sort of influenced person who's showed up on the scene to try to save the odd superhero movie from fucking the B section.
100%.
Yeah. I don't know. That's how I take him. I think that I don't think that Guardians of the Galaxy had. There's a couple things. He's the Guardians of the Galaxy guy. The first Guardians of the Galaxy movie. There's a couple of things wrong with it. The Guardians of the Galaxy suck my asshole. That is ridiculous. All those characters are stupid. They're stupid in the comics. They're stupid on paper, and their designs are dumb. No one cares about them. Everybody didn't give a shit, and he made that entire franchise fucking relevant with one movie. With a fucking motley crew cast, might I add. That and I mean that says a lot. And I mean I feel like this is a second chance for the Suicide Squad, which is a cool property with slightly cooler characters and also an absolute loaded cast. And I think that just the flavor of the direction could be the magic,
Yeah, and I think he's gonna get the sort of the thrust of the Suicide Squad comics, which I admittedly haven't read all of, just the first graphic novel. But that's sort of the sort of leftist leaning, political edge to it, and that sense of fun. You asked why it has to be superheroes. I mean, it doesn't have to be superheroes, but it's going to be a fun sort of heist thing. But the powers make the comedy just pop, because you get a shark ripping a dude literally in half. Just look that looks amazing. Come on, that does. So that does. That was awesome. I'm a sucker for violence, and so
I think I resonated with the violence of the show that was advertised to me. You know, like, come show up for the fucking disgusting time, and I was like, okay, I'll show up for that, and maybe and maybe for the dick jokes, and I was like, okay, all right, I might do that. That sounds fine. And then the rest of it, I was like, well, I don't fucking care. Like, I don't care if these guys make friends. You know, I don't need no buddy suicide.
So that's the
movie.
fun of the premise. That's the fun of the premise, is that anyone is disposable. So like, that's, I don't know, it just all kind of comes together, and it's just it's gonna be a good time.
Yeah,
I dig Idris Elba too.
Yes, absolutely.
He's fucking charming as hell, and he's also not typically used in much of a comedy role, which apparently he's quite at home, based on the trailer so far. But
did he say anything funny? I'm not trying to be a dick here.
He that panel where he says, "We're all gonna die," and that fucking weird little guy looks at him.
He's like, I hope so. Yeah, you're right.
Reminded me of Adam, actually.
He's gonna be he's gonna be kind of the straight man, but that enhances the comedy too.
Yeah. Well, you guys are really selling me on this, actually. I think I'm just I put up barriers to my own enjoyment, and that's unfortunate.
Fair enough. I kind of take it as, like, if you're in the superhero genre and you got a property you feel like's worth saving, and you got all the money in the world, who are you gonna hire to bring it back to life? Well, I'd like to have fucking Quentin Tarantino, and I feel like James Gunn may just be the Quentin Tarantino of the genre at the moment.
Oh shit, that's so true. Yeah.
Kind of.
Well, I'll accept kind of on that. Like, that's not fair. I'd like, please, I accept Guy Ritchie. Like, use him as an example because he's far more fun.
Okay, well, you liked my Guy Ritchie analogy.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sorry, that I don't know why that activated me. I was like, no, it's not Tarantino. Anyway, fuck. I gotta look at myself in the mirror.
Yeah. You know what? I don't know, man. I don't know about Quentin, and I don't know about fucking that goddamn Leo DiCaprio. You better get out of my face.
Okay. Well, if you haven't watched the movie, I don't want to talk if you haven't watched the movie. That was an amazing movie. You know what also was really amazing, guys?
Oh no, I don't know.
It's so good. It's so good.
What we came here for.
Yeah, if there's a superhero property that you really want to bring back to life, right? Mm-hmm. You get Zack Snyder. You get Zack Snyder. That's right. Justice League.
Speaking of being rich and bringing back the big dick energy that you need, you call up Zack.
Yeah. So like everyone else in the world, apparently, we spent at least 4 hours watching Zack Snyder's Justice League 2021.
Am I living in my cord?
What just happened?
My daughter's here to use her cord.
That's good. Give it back. What's wrong with you?
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's good.
Okay, so I'm just right up the front. This movie is not written because, like, I'm on record and I argue strong for Man of Steel and Batman versus Superman, and they have more or less different writers, and it's like goes like David S. Goyer, Man of Steel, and he's your Christopher Nolan fella,
right? And
then we get David S. Goyer, and then this Chris Terrio comes into it, and he does Rise of Skywalker, he does Argo. He's I guess he's brought in by Affleck maybe, and then by the time we get to Justice League, we got only Chris Terrio and the guy that did the Aquaman movie with a Zack Snyder story. And so already I'm super disappointed because while I really love the Snyderverse, man, I just got to admit this story's real weak, and this is not a superior product.
Well, yeah, that's true. I mean, I feel like what I feel like happened in this succession of those events is that Superman's reboot was taken extremely seriously, because it had been put into the gutter really, really badly. That's like fucking you're digging out.
That's
you're
true.
You're digging out of a trench the same way you were digging out of that Schwarzenegger Batman movie. Like you gotta come with something serious. You needed the fucking Dark Knight guy. Can't remember his name now. Christopher Nolan.
Right.
Right. So they came heavy.
Oh no, but wait, but that wasn't Nolan though. That was Mr. Snyder. He was
No,
selected.
yeah. No. I know that. I just mean in the same
Okay.
way that the Batman movie
Right.
had to be rebooted real hard if you wanted anybody to fucking show up. The Superman, I think, had that same that ridiculous fucking Kevin Spacey Lex Luthor movie. That's that's a nightmare, man. People want to forget that, like they want to forget the Ang Lee Hulk movie.
I want to go back to that movie. Actually, I don't think it's a good movie, but that movie's so fucking weird. There's lots
the
of
Hulk or the Superman.
Oh, both are weird, but mostly the Superman Returns. That movie's very strange. Anyway.
Oh yeah, that's very weird and very Brian and Singer is like a good hand, man. I don't know what the fuck happened there. If he was having like a romance with Superman.
What if it's actually good and we just don't remember? That's what I'm worried about.
Oh, possible. But I don't think that's the case.
I don't think that's the case either.
Yeah, but anyway, I don't know what the fuck they really needed to come out of the hole, basically, and I think they came really heavy with that Man of Steel movie when they transitioned to the Batfleck. The Batfleck, Batman Affleck got so fucking much heat from the media when he got cast that I think that they came pretty ready to play as well, like really serious with their staff. And then I just feel like after that, they're like, we succeeded fucking twice in a row, man. Cruise control. If I had to guess, that's.
Yeah. I don't know. Yeah, Chris, please.
I haven't watched any of those movies. I've really avoided the DC, but I have watched 6 hours of Justice League and dug into the backstory. And I believe that the studio, like after the first two movies, they didn't want Snyder really his vision anymore, like so they wanted to hire like a babysitter sort of thing, and like kind of moderate his tone.
Okay, and maybe that's where the new writer comes from.
Yeah, maybe like that's part of like whatever their monitoring system, and then like I think like we know unfortunately it's tragically Snyder's daughter committed suicide and he stepped down. So when they brought Joss Whedon in, it kind of became a way to Marvelize the movie. Yeah, which is, I don't know. It's that one. The thing is, they're both bad movies. Mm-hmm. They're both have engaging parts in a way. I feel like Zack Snyder, and I knew I was going to hate it because I typically don't like his films. I've covered this a lot in previous episodes, but I just he's like an undergraduate who corners you at a party and he just corners you and talks to you about how he spent the summer reading Nietzsche or some shit like that. It's just, they're so pretentious, these films. They're just, he wants to imagine that he's doing something profound by treating superheroes as gods, but it's, and that's sort of like a Miller, back in the 80s, I remember Miller talking about that and others. And that idea is interesting insofar as, it talks about the way superhero stories are told, that they're new mythologies and they, they do transmit stories and values that way, but not just literally the idea that brooding gods are still watching over the planet.
And I my only response to that is that I feel that you would feel less irritated by that attitude if you'd seen the other two movies, because I think that they handle that shit so much better. Like in a I'm not going to say artful way, but in a more multifaceted way. Okay. Where you actually spend some time thinking about it and just for a moment, you're just like, oh, there's a real engagement with the concept of the superhero. And by this point, for whatever the reason, whether it's babysitters, whether it's Zack Snyder is actually insane, whether it's different writers, this is a far less cerebral experience. I use the description Wagnerian, near the end, and I'm fearful, given the subject matter of the Superman, that he went Wagnerian, right? It's,
absolutely.
It's a little strange. It's like a high opera. This was a high opera experience, but without, I don't really like opera, so what the fuck? Maybe this is actually what opera's supposed to feel like. But if so, I don't want any.
Yeah, fair.
It was 4 hours long.
See,
right?
you guys are kind of a little bit. You know what? I have to say,
Mhm.
I want to love all superhero stuff all the time so much that I accept a lot of bad stuff and watch a lot of trite that I know you especially, James, pass over. I just thought that I can believe how much his cut improved the movie. First and foremost, that camera cut, that aspect shot that he used was really cool. Probably a lot of people dislike that. It's
the changing of the aspects?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Go on,
enjoyed
sorry.
it. I found it unique. And then the other thing too is that like I can't believe that I wonder what his actual cut would have looked like, because he probably only would have got away with about 2.5 hours himself. Or maybe 3 tops. So like I mean like I know that there would have been stuff cut, but I can't believe the way that his additional footage like smoothed out the scenes and the story and like I don't know, just like eased tension and sort of brought like all the characters like more to life, especially like the Flash and Cyborg. They cut so much relevant material and just like put like I don't know, Wheaton just, that was so fucking sloppy. I can't even fucking believe that made it out of the cutting room floor.
Chris, you've looked at both of the movies.
Yeah. The one like to address what James was saying too, like I do think that there's some good in both cuts. And I have to say that it at times with the Snyder cut, like he creates very memorable images. Like it's gorgeous at times, and like at times I actually felt awe, like kind of, you know, that's sort of like what he wants you to feel, that, you know, immortal forces kind of like acting in the world. There's some really cool moments, particularly like when Aquaman like steps into that like crashing storm, and they got the Nick Cave playing over that. It was a cool moment. But I think with the Whedon cut, yeah, like it's a hack job, but I think the hack job of it can like expresses his contempt for Snyder's vision, like the sort of like just sort of the high seriousness of it. And I think that like there are a lot better character moments in the Whedon. There's some really dud moments too. Like don't get me wrong, like there's some really stupid things. Like there's a scene between Lois and Clark's mom where she like calls her thirsty, or like some, it's like there's just like some just sort of like Whedon lazy like C-level jokes where he just threw in. But there's some like there's one moment that I think this movie kind of missed where Batman is kind of talking about Superman, where they're talking about bringing him back, and he's like, you know, like he's more human than I am. And I'm sure that point's been made in comics, like, you know, that he engages with the world, he's not like kind of walled off from it. But it kind of like, it was a nice moment of reckoning for the character. So I think like definitely the Cyborg stuff, I 100% agree with you, James. Some of like there are certain key moments, like giving him his due, like as a centerpiece of the movie. Like some of the stuff with his dad should have been kept, but it's also like the Cyborg stuff in the like in Teen Titans Go, when they make fun of Cyborg, or like when they do the serious episodes, and you know, just like, oh, I'm a monster, I can't enjoy anything in life, and that sort of shit. Like that is exactly the character presented here, and it's so dumb and so dark, and like he's just like standing there like sadly looking at kids playing football in the street. It's just like, this is stupid.
Yeah, you know that. Yeah, he does do a lot of cliche stuff. And the same with his cut actually does make Batman seem like a lot older and more ridiculously weak and exhausted, like a fucking like Gandalf. Like Batman's the Gandalf of the Justice League.
Holy shit! Yeah, absolutely. You're
like
absolutely
he's just
right.
like an old, tired fucking wizard that puts together like a team that fights for him. Like I'm not sure if that was, you know, I'm sure that's, I don't know. The Snyder cut seems to be like that's the Batman he wanted to deliver, and Wheaton sort of chopped that down to definitely a more serviceable Batman, I think. So I see what you mean.
Yeah, Batman was stronger, I think, in the Whedon cut. Like exactly, and like there's some dumb moments where, like, you know, he actually asks Aquaman, like, can you talk to fish, or like, just bits like that. But he actually had more of a character arc. I when I watched, because I hadn't seen the previous movies, and I was like, I fucking hate Affleck as Batman. This is stupid. He's just kind of like standing there glowering. He looks constipated. But he like he had more life in the, like, he had more of a character arc.
I'm sorry, in the Snyder cut or the?
I thought in the Justice League, in the Whedon cut.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that's
apparently,
fair.
did you guys hear? Apparently, he was supposed to like Snyder shot like scenes where he was like falling for Lois Lane, and they had like sort of like a flirtation, but they cut that.
Yeah, the studio apparently was like, abso-fucking-lutely not.
Yeah, that's
interesting.
Stupid.
Yeah, they wanted him to fall in love with Lois. Did you hear his Endgame idea?
No.
Yeah,
they wanted him
to
fall in love with Lois, have a baby with Lois.
Oh, no. Where are you getting that?
Set Superman off, and then have Batman die saving fucking, or have Superman die? No, Batman die saving the Justice League or something, and then have the weird Batman Lois Lane baby, or the Batman Superman baby, take up Batman's mantle.
Oh no!
Okay.
Some shit like this.
No. What are you talking about? That is not a real thing. No way, man.
I'm just saying that was like some smut that was like tossed around.
Yeah, that is absolutely not what Zack Snyder's vision was.
No, that wasn't a vision. No. Apparently, it was like some tentative ideas he had involving the Lois Lane Batman romance and some love child and shit.
I don't know. I don't. That doesn't jive with what I understand about what his visions were or what his conversations were. But then again, I'm not in Hollywood and I don't know Zack Snyder, and what the fuck do I know? Well,
let me. I'll try to pull source material for that later.
Pull source material, yes, please. The I have a great deal of fondness for the first 45 to perhaps hour of this movie. 45 minutes to hour of this movie. I like that it opens up with Superman being gruesomely impaled and screaming throughout the world. That's fucking awesome. And then the rest of that opening sequence is very much a dirge, and it maintains that. I liked when those girls were singing when Aquaman was going into the water.
Oh. And, did you like her the horny like villager just picking up his shirt and sniffing it?
Yeah.
With Momoa?
Yeah. I was like that. I don't know. Something about that seemed very human though. Like, wouldn't something like that happen? Like, I don't know, man. Well, if there was a mermaid man, I feel that if there was a mermaid man, there would be horny teenage girls sniffing his shirt and they'd be singing his sea chanty as he went off. And I was pleased with that. Yeah. And then when Lois is delivering coffee to the police officer, when she's visiting Superman's tomb every day, I just love the music video quality of the opening bits. It's very evocative, it's very emotional, it's well shot, and it sets up kind of character bits. At the very least, it gives you a feeling for how you should feel for the fucking stupid travesty to come. And then I was also he lost his daughter, and I really couldn't. And the fact that he chose Nick Cave, I
thought about that.
It's from that Nick Cave album that he made after his kids commit suicide. Am I wrong about that? I feel
you're right. The Skeleton Tree.
Yeah, so like everything about that opening bit was something of a memorial, I felt, and that's not in the text, but I feel it's there. So I appreciated that, and I thought that was interesting stuff. Chris, you wanted to say something?
I was so sad about it because Nick Cave is one of my all-time favorite musicians, and like the emotional roller coaster of like, holy shit, he's using Nick Cave. I'm so excited. Like, maybe this movie is quality after all. And then realizing that he is the most literal fuck in the world, that song is only there to deliver the line that they thought our gods would outlast us, but they lied. I was just so sad. And like, I have a theory. Like, I think that you didn't see Guardians of the Galaxy, but
no.
Drax in that movie, he's an alien. His race is completely literal. And I was like, he's one of those people. Like in the movie, he says like nothing goes over my head. My reflexes are too fast. I would catch it. I feel like that is the level that Snyder operates on. It's so sad.
Oh, that's too.
Ruined, he ruined Song to the Siren for me too. Like the Flash scene where like he's introduced and he saves that girl from the car and like there are hot dogs flying everywhere. Like that's a beautiful song.
I liked that scene.
Oh, and I got something to say about that scene too. No, okay. I know what I know what James is going to say, but the hot dog. I'll talk about the hot dogs. That's a weird Easter egg to the first Flash comic that featured Barry Allen. Like part of his powers in those early comics, illustrated by Carmine Infantino, were like things would enter into suspended animation. And so like he spills some eggs and fucking sausages like that. That's the first time he feels his power. And I don't know. That's what I thought of. I was like, those guys went through the subject material and they came up with a clever little Easter egg for the Uber fans. Also, it was stupid.
I think I lost you there for a second, guys.
Oh no!
You back?
We're back. I think we're back.
Okay, good.
Okay.
The last thing I heard was eggs and powers.
No, James, did you hear all that?
Yeah, I got it all.
Okay, well, I'm going to deal with it in post production. Sorry,
All right,
Chris.
sorry, guys.
You were saying how amazing my insight was?
That's cool. I actually didn't know that. But I thought the scene was really charming. I liked his jittery resume delivery in the pet store. I liked everything about that scene. I like how he punched through the window. I like how he had this like kind of like cute teenage girl moment, and then obviously how that scene was shot in terms of him saving her and in terms of showing his power. Like he's able to like stir time almost, or stop time. Like it's a much more interesting sort of portrayal of super speed than you see, and we've gotten a lot of different portrayals of super speed. We've had the Avengers Quicksilver, we've had our X-Men Quicksilver, which also probably can't talk that down. Probably the best super speed scene.
Pretty good.
Ever displayed in a movie, I think, still to this day.
Yeah.
However, this one was really cool. What's that?
I said this one blatantly ripped that off. It wasn't.
Wow, really? You think so?
I
thought it was
did
really
like
unique.
the glass exploding. I did the slow motion thing. I don't mind the idea of like setting it slow. Yeah, slow to like to that kind of like slow music. Like that was kind of an interesting choice, but just yeah. Do you know that I think they might have even alluded to. Do you guys know anything about Dawson's Creek?
Oh, do I?
Yeah.
No,
okay. All right. So the Dawson's dad dying by like he dies in the show, and he dies like reaching under his dashboard for some ice cream that fell. I think that they were like, it almost felt like that was an illusion because that trucker like who wasn't looking, like just like I forget what he dropped. It was like some food, his burger, and he's like reaching around the floor for it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, good job.
Zach.
I
got rear-ended by a guy eating a hamburger one time.
Shit.
So it's more real than you think. Okay.
Yeah.
From
he
the
actually got out
headlines.
and was like, "So sorry, man." Like I was a little shocked because my head hit the
Was he an
headrest
extra
pretty
from
good.
Popeye? What the fuck?
Yeah, he was like, "Man, I was literally fucking smashing a Whopper and I just didn't see the stop sign."
God.
I was like, "Fuck, dude, seriously?"
Well, that's amazing honesty in a fellow human. And,
I know. Actually, you know what? Too, I
that's
was so rattled by getting hit by my headrest that he gave me his info on a piece of paper, drove away, paid me for the damages on my bumper privately so that we didn't have to go through insurance, and I took his word for it fucking completely.
Okay.
Because I didn't even take a picture of his license plate or get his real name or anything because I was rattled. So, hey, there you go, man. There's good people out there.
Yeah. It's good. Real heroes exist. They walk among us.
That's true. True. The most positivity you've heard from the podcast since day one.
Yeah.
that's probably true.
Wow, we do need a break, and we needed that because we got to fucking keep digging into this bullshit.
Okay, so can we just quickly, just briefly glaze over Momoa playing Momoa?
Oh yeah, sure.
May as well handle
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, in our little private. Oh. Yeah.
Oh, I said, how'd you feel about that?
James?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
about
felt
that,
like
James?
shit about it. I hate Momoa playing Momoa, and I think he's getting away with it more and more as he ages, and people just accept that he's this big fucking beautiful mutant. It's just fucking, it's getting real tired. Like, you're like a fucking douche with a man scarf and this like outrageously giant body. You know, like, fuck, man. Like, he's just a clown. Like, he's not playing a character at all. He's just playing himself as a Hollywood asshole with rubbity boots. Like, fuck off, man. Like, seriously, why don't you try pretending you're from fucking Atlantis, you ass fuck? Like,
He can't though. Let's be honest. The cast of this movie fucking sucks, and for the most part, it fucking sucks. We don't need to talk about Ben Affleck as Batman.
no, Ben's a
That's
good
important to me.
Batman. Ben
Yeah.
is a good Batman.
Yeah.
And I won't have you slag him.
Yeah, and Henry Cavill is Superman, fantastic.
Yeah, he's good.
Yeah.
And then everyone else. Well, actually, Jeremy Irons as Alfred. I'm fucking into
Yes.
that.
Yeah,
That's good
me
stuff.
too. That was good.
I think Godot is good, but not given
She
any
sucks.
lines.
She
No,
fucking-
she doesn't suck.
No, Gal Gadot is
She's
terrible.
okay. Yeah, 20 to an hour of this movie is narrated by Gal Gadot, and I was like, no. She does not have a charming voice. I am not mesmerized by the thing this woman says. It's just like, it just sounds like this fake. Maybe it's not fake, but it sounds like a fake Eastern European accent. And
I don't think it's fake.
I don't know.
Weird. It's like a funny Israeli accent or something.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ray Fisher, who plays Cyborg, and Ezra Miller, who plays the Flash, are just young. They're okay, but they're not like A-men. Ben seems to be kind of not engaged in the role. So really the only person trying to act is Superman, if you want to break it down like that.
The problem
what do
with
you
this
wanna
movie
say,
is just that there is no dialogue in this movie. It's all exposition, and I think that's the problem that all of those actors face, because they are all significantly more charming in the original cut. I found, particularly Cyborg. Like, I just there's like, it's just like, it's constant darkness, constant brooding. That line where he's just like, fuck the world. It's like so obvious and angst. And then but in the Whedon version, there's a nice moment between him and his dad earlier, when he's like talking about his powers, and his dad's telling him he's a gift. And instead of just being like, I'm a monster, he says, like, if these are gifts, then why am I always the one paying for it? And like, it's just sort of like, it's an appropriate level of like confusion or angst about the sort of powers he's been given.
That's a good line, actually, too.
Yeah.
That's not a bad line at all. That's
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I found Steppenwolf though a bit more charming in the Snyder cut. He was more rendered and more like, I felt like he had more of a character.
Yeah, he had more of a because you kind of that sort of like that shitty deal where he like betrayed Darkseid and like had to conquer how many planets? 10,000, 1,000,
50,000.
Jesus.
Yeah.
And a fucking beautiful actor played him, and was completely muted by that ridiculous CGI choice. Not just from Zack Snyder, but from Joss Whedon, like from both of them. Like, what the fuck choice was it to make the worst wonky CGI? Like, fucking Optimus Prime looked more real than that shit. What the fuck was that?
Julia
That's
watched with me, and she said like, it was like watching. She couldn't get into it because it was like watching a video game, and like, I thought that was fairly true.
That's super fair.
But it's super fair. Okay, so yes, it is, and it's repellent. I do find it repellent, but we shouldn't be surprised from the director of Sucker Punch. To have that. Like his, and again, Chris, you haven't seen Batman versus Superman, but his Doomsday, the Doomsday character in that movie. Actually, you know what? Having rewatched it, I was like, actually, that was terrifying and much cooler than this fucking movie.
I agree with that.
But it's the same sort of like, it's like he equates evil with a dark primitivism.
Oh shit! Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. And you know, like even when Darkseid lands, like he's growling and he grabs at the ground and he does that fucking video game like I'm the boss of this level pose, which is just all he does with these guys. And yeah, and then I'm just like, there's nothing that differentiates like Lex Luthor's more interesting than any of these guys. And that's a problem when Jesse Eisenberg is the most interesting villain. Something's wrong, you know?
Yeah.
He has a very good screen presence. Sorry, just putting that out there.
Yeah, no, I agree with that.
Oh, that's fair. No, I like his Lex Luthor a lot. This movie doesn't showcase it very well. Bats versus Soups does a fucking fantastic job.
Oh yeah,
of it.
yeah, he's a great he's a great lead villain and sort of like on the sly steals the show kind of a bit.
Yeah. So anyway, I just interesting to me that this dark primitivism is really the enemy of the Justice League.
Yeah, they're all in a weird way. Like people have compared this movie to Lord of the Rings. It kind of reminds me of that Masters of the Universe movie from the 80s. Like it's sort of like grim dark, like children's shit.
Not wrong, my friend. Yeah, holy shit. This is basically a Cyborg sequel that got converted to Masters of the Universe.
And Darkseid's motivation in this is like completely fucking bonkers. Like he's conquered 100,000 worlds, turned them to dust. He says because he's searching for the anti-life equation that's going to make it easy for him to conquer worlds. Like that's a lot of work, man. You're really hustling.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too is like, well, how many fucking worlds are left? Just one with Superman on it?
Yeah, exactly.
And then in addition to that, like you conquered all those worlds so that you could make like pervert bloodmouth fucking bug men? Like fuck man, like your life sucks, man. Jesus. When you just like limp and he limps too, like so he can barely walk fucking properly. Like, I don't know what's happening there, but he's just got, like, two perv guys that hang out with him. One guy looks like fucking Benicio del Toro in Guardians of the Galaxy. The other guy, I don't even know what the fuck he's supposed to be. He's, like, literally, like, just like a ripoff from one of the bad guys from the Avengers. And then I was just very confused by all of that. I don't think it added any depth at all.
Even with Steppenwolf, it was kind of like they got a Josh Brolin discount or something like that. Like they were just like, could you do that? Could you do his Thanos?
Yeah, they used a great actor to just render like a donkey voice. Like that made me want to cry when I saw who played him.
Can I just say though, like, and I agree with everything that you guys are laying down here, but I like the voice. It was like, what if Steppenwolf was Hellraiser or like one of the Cenobites? Like he had that we will show you. I liked that at the very least. There's not much to like about the character as a villain, but I liked that. Also,
that's a fun idea.
He made an effort.
Horses. Yeah. He threw a fucking horse.
That was awesome.
That was amazing. So
like
he gets those two moments. Great voice, threw a horse.
Yeah. A couple moments. He was scrappy. He was a pain in the ass to fight.
Yeah. Another not to continually harp on the Whedon cut, but like there was another moment from that where he's talking to Cyborg, and you got a clearer sense of how the mother boxes like are integrated into like Cyborg's technology, which I don't know if that's canon, but I really like that idea.
No, it's not at all.
Okay. Yeah. So he's saying like, like now you're an agent of chaos, like, and so like, being linked to the mother boxes, he's like, you're going to see. And like, that was like a nice, like that took place in the Gotham Reservoir fight. So it's sort of like setting out like later on, you kind of see the Cyborg suit turn against Superman, like the threat detected. And I kind of understood that moment more, I felt.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you got to make some there's a lot of, that's interesting to hear because there's a lot of missed opportunity in there and like in making, because otherwise Cyborg is just a guy like James and I read Marv Wolfman's Teen Titans. Like this is not, he's just like a teenager who happens to have like a deformity, I think is how he's treated. But he's also super strong and but still confident, not tortured. And so you're like, what's the point? But but either way, it's if if you're going to connect them to the mother box, you've got the whole Jack Kirby Fourth World. You got all this fucking psychedelic shit you can deal with. You can give him something interesting. He's grounded
big
within
potential.
this. Yeah. So that's actually pretty cool. Because you're right. He isn't. He only is.
Kind of hilarious that you brought up Hellraiser. Now I'm thinking like between Cyborg, Steppenwolf, and the mother boxes that we did have a bit of a Hellraiser kind of thing going on there.
Yeah. Those ghost pictures and stuff.
The pleasure.
Oh shit! Yeah. Wow, that's a name.
And I think okay, but can I just again, James and is maybe not going to agree with me, but I want to go back to Batman versus Superman. Okay. And Batman versus Superman, the first line of Batman versus there's two things to note about Batman versus Superman. The first reference is a movie reference. So the old Batman mythos is that he watched Zorro prior to his parents getting killed. In these movies, he watches a real movie called Excalibur. And in Excalibur, so you get now fast forward to the end of the movie, when Doomsday impales Superman, and Superman grabs Doomsday and pulls himself in closer to impale himself more in order to kill Doomsday. That's a reference to that Excalibur movie. And then similarly with at the beginning of Batman vs Superman, there's an immediate reference to a Michael Mann movie, and so there's a filmographic reference shit going on, and I don't know. I feel that Hellraiser is baked into that shit. It's not just an accident. It's not just him being goofy. He's probably thinking about it.
Yeah, I think you're probably, because the idea of the boxes being like portals to like chaos or like just agents of change. I could kind of see that.
Yeah,
I like that.
That's good.
Yeah, there's like little. I know he does a lot of deep. Well, I mean, like that's what I mean. Like, there's more like full circle depth to a lot of his movies. He puts a lot of thought into his movies. He's the one that originally shot this source material. So like, I mean, this is what he intended it for. And despite, the annoyance with some of the over the top, heavy-handed and darkness and stuff like that, this is what he kind of intended for all that footage, right? So I feel like when he patched it together with his own vision in mind or whatever, that it just felt really smoothed out. Like I just couldn't believe, even just like minute to minute, from like a Wonder Woman scene into the Flash scene into whatever, that I was just shocked by how smooth it was, and how like the choppy transitions changed to something like that was like a lot more cohesive. Kate enjoyed it. She didn't even watch 10 minutes of the Wheaton cut. She hated it. And that was surprising. But
wow, yeah. All 4 hours, huh?
Yeah. We took like
holy fuck.
We did it like 45 minutes at a time too. It took like a week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the way to do it. Originally, it was supposed to be 2 movies too, which like I didn't understand at first, but then the studio was just like, yeah, no, these aren't doing that well. You get one.
I heard originally that HBO was gonna do 4 1-hour episodes.
Right, I had heard that too at a point, but I guess they just stitched it all together with those chapter breaks so you could treat it that way.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Also, in terms of like, just so I'm just putting this out there, the reason I like Ben Affleck's Batman is because I feel like he would just be, I feel like he'd be banged up, especially if he was middle-aged, like 40.
Yeah.
I feel like he'd be digested. I feel like he'd be beat up. I feel like he'd be using his mind more than his body at that point. But I also feel like he's monstrous, like frightening and monstrous and dominating is the only way that the character could be portrayed. Like you should be like a couple little bad guys with the knives out in the street or a gun. Like, you should get ripped apart by this animal. Like, and then I feel like Ben gives me that. Like,
he definitely like, and Chris, again, I'm sorry, you haven't watched Batman versus Superman, but like when like his fucking exercise routine, you like watch him beat the shit out of people, so much more impressive. This movie does nothing to make Batman like what James is pointing out is accurate. He's a little more cerebral in this, but like this movie's not smart, and so Batman doesn't seem intelligent. You know, like like what mystery did he solve? You know, what did he do? He was just like Charlie trying to set up Charlie's Angels.
Yeah,
And,
I feel everything you guys are saying.
Yeah. So it's it's a shame. It's a real shame. Like I think back to the beginning, like the very beginning when we started, like I just don't think this is a good movie. I think it has bits that are good. Like I like the end and I like the beginning. I fucking love that Steppenwolf. Well, one, I like when Superman. I don't like when Superman comes back as a villain, but I like when he comes back as like I don't even like it when he comes back as a hero, but I just think it's better. Like when he gets hit by that axe and he's like, not impressed. And you're like, what?
Yeah, that's cool.
What? No, but that's not very cool. Like that's not earned though. It's not earned at all. It's like he's never encountered this guy before. He's never heard anything about him. There's no deep history and there's no expectation. I don't know. It just turns into like this arrogant statement by this thing that fell from the sky. But then he reveals himself to be the Silver Age Superman with super cold breath. You know, like, and he's the sort of, he's your fucking Otto Binder Superman at that point. And I don't know, man, that's cool. You know, like, cause I want to give Snyder a little bit of credit. He's very interested in this concept of the good. And actually he draws on Grant Morrison shit in that first Man of Steel movie. Like there's quotes from Grant Morrison's All-Star Superman. And so I can't help but view his portrayal of Superman as somehow sympathetic to that idea, you know, to Grant Morrison's idea. And so when the Silver Age Superman shows up, it signals to me that this movie wants to embrace like a juvenile goodness. It wants to embrace something like virtue. And I like that. And what I also like, though, is that moments after that, Superman smiles at someone who has impaled Steppenwolf, and then he happily kicks that man who has just been impaled prior to his decapitation. And I was like,
not really a man.
Perfect. Well, okay, fair. That's true.
I also like that, like, no one, like, you know what I mean? Like, the Avengers are outraged by the decapitation of Thanos, horrified, taken aback. I think fucking Banner looks like he's almost gonna barf. And then these guys executed the same thing on sort of a cosmic level, bad guy. And everyone's real comfortable with it to the point of like punting a severed head into a fucking portal hole.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, disposed of, bitch. Don't come to our planet. Like, so, I mean, I guess maybe that's like, that's probably deliberate, like, to be like, this is the tone of my fucking movie.
Yeah. Even in Nolan's Batman, like in the first one where he decides not to save Ra's al Ghul, and just like jets out, he says, I don't have to save you. Like that's like a major moment of like taking, like, you know, it's not like an active thing, but like this, they're just, like you say, it's just like fucking casual Friday, like just decapitation.
Yeah. And getting back to the Suicide Squad trailer. This is the violence I want, man. This is what I'm going to show up for. I want to see these fucking people engaged in horrendous acts of violence against, or at least comfortable with violence. Like I don't need heroes. I really don't. That doesn't make any sense to me as a concept. But war does. Violence does. And so this pleases me for that reason.
Another little subtle thing to go back to the axe scene, not impressed, right? The Superman gets hit. I think that my beef with that is when Steppenwolf comes down with this like high-powered axe. Now, we got to say, he's already handily pretty well disposed of like some very high-powered beings in Wonder Woman and Aquaman. Pretty comfortably can slap these fuckers off of them like flies. He comes down with that thing with a monster vengeance. Like, he's gonna split fucking Cyborg in half, and this axe comes down on Superman's shoulder. Not sure if this is deliberate. Probably is. The exact same place that it comes down from, like, a random Zeus or fucking whatever goofy shit they were going for at the beginning with Darkseid. In the exact same shoulder spot as Darkseid gets hit by the axe. And I did not appreciate that. It made Darkseid, it diminishes Darkseid.
It does, yeah. That opening scene absolutely does.
It's like a weak. It's like I got a weak bitch of a villain that might come to town, and I can fucking take a comparable amount of damage without even fucking flinching.
That's a smart.
Yeah. Sorry, no, I was just saying it puts Superman on a different power level, and this is all within the same narrative, you know, and then that sort of diminishes Darkseid for me. I don't know.
No, it does. That's a really smart. Like what I think is so smart about that is I didn't notice that it was the exact same type of attack. Because like I agree, like Darkseid in the beginning of this, like during that Lord of the Rings, and this gets back to what you were reading, Chris, about people saying this was like Lord of the Rings, like that part 2, part 3, I don't know, whatever the fuck Gal Gadot's narrating her story. It's like the humans merge with the Atlanteans and blah blah blah. And you're like, I don't care. These aren't nations. This isn't a world that you created. These are just words. This is Lovecraft fan fiction. Not Lovecraft, Tolkien fan fiction. And Darkseid just comes off as fucking useless and not a terror at all. Like he got beat by a bunch of fucking losers. And they knocked. Yeah, go on.
I was gonna say, did you like that? Like the literal gods were fighting like Darkseid in the previous like invasion.
No, that was terrible. Yeah. There's like
Zeus was shooting lightning.
You're right. You're
bodybuilders with fucking flashy hands. Like, what are you fucking doing?
Exactly.
No backstory, no explanation. Oh, the gods looked ridiculous. Like, you don't know where you pulled those clowns out of.
Ares is basically from 300.
Yes, yeah, exactly. But that's sorry, James. I know you were talking, but
I know they're actual gods or whatever.
No. I think it's perfect for like the director of 300. Like that's
true.
what I just saw. Like I just saw like there's bits of Sucker Punch, there's bits of 300 in this movie. There's obviously bits of Watchmen, but like it's just like it's these fascinations. But I think at the end of the day, I think that's what I like about these movies most of all, is that they're, you know, for the same reason I like John Byrne comics, and that's fucking a backhanded compliment, but I like that it's so weird and so self-referential. I just think that's so like, and if Warner Brothers is gonna fucking feed me a sausage, I want it to come from Zack Snyder.
There's a ringing endorsement.
Yeah, that's the fucking quote right there.
Yeah,
something I really enjoyed about that mythology sequence was the Atlanteans take their bit of the mother box, they bring it to the secure temple, traps and everything. Atlantis takes it to the bottom of the ocean. Man, they just take a fucking hole in the forest, like 2 feet deep, and like just cover it. Like, fuck, I don't have time for this shit. Whatever.
A shallow hole in the bush.
Yeah, I was like, is that supposed to me? Is that and I was like, is that King Arthur? Is that what that? Because I was thinking about the Excalibur thing. I was like, is that the kingdom of men? And he was like, yeah, they're just digging a hole. You're like, oh boy.
Nice.
Yeah, that was
well thought.
And then it ends up in the hands of the Nazis, and I'm like, you're really gonna fucking tesseract me right now? Seriously?
Oh yeah.
Shit.
Yeah, no, that's fair. But it's like that Nazis. I think it's that. I think it comes into conspiracy culture. This idea that like whatever the Department of Defense is working on right now, it's because of Nazi technology. It's because of Operation Paperclip. And UFOs and that sort of thing. I really sensed a lot of that in the same way that you said, like not sense it, but see it in Independence Day. Maybe another reference there. probably perfectly appropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, to touch on that just briefly, I don't want to get too far into this because I don't think like Zack Snyder is a fascist or anything like that. But like going back to the idea of the casual violence.
Speaking of ringing endorsement.
Yeah, I do think that this is like there's something about this cut that like it can serve easily. I felt as like just sort of like a backdrop for fascist fantasy if you wanted to, like just like strong threats from primitive invaders need to be dealt with strong heroes and strong men and shit like that. And I don't know, just like that's kind of what you lose without that justice sort of thing. Like, because I like that. I mean, I have to admit, I'm kind of a sucker for like the Silver Age, like sort of like truth and justice shit. I just kind of like appeals to me. But I don't know why. Like it's like not cool or anything like that. But it feels important in comics. And if without that, you just have like Superman like imposing their will on small masses.
Well, actually, it's even more insidious than that because, like, what is the primary concern of this movie? It's about fathers. Like it's about people who can't live up to the example of their fathers. It's very literally patriarchal. I'm not being weird about that. That's like that's what this movie is about. Everyone has father issues, top to bottom, except for maybe Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
But, yeah. But even then, but nonetheless, it still has to do with your parents. This
Yes.
movie is very much about legacy and about destiny. And it connects it to some sort of like biological destiny, and that's always going to be super fascist to me, on a real basic level. And so when you've got these characters just like operating with impunity, fucking happily decapitating people, who otherwise they can just dominate. It's just there. It's not there in the way that the Turner Diaries are there, but it's Wagnerian.
Right, exactly. Yeah, if you don't take steps to moderate it, then it's just like that overtone is there. And
yeah, he's guilty of it. He's like up and down, left and right. So don't watch this, guys.
That was pretty good.
I love that it's a splatter movie.
Oh,
this movie's such a fucking splatter movie.
And it is fun, like in that level, I enjoyed it.
Well, I like where this gets back to my jar of piss preference.
Right.
You're never gonna. Yeah. No, but you'll never get when the Flash, he's like, I'm going to go faster than light. I'm going to reverse time. And watching those horrible bodies just getting recreated. And I was like, you'll never ever get that out of a Disney product. Ever.
No, it's true. Yeah, that was there's another one of your Hellraiser moments.
Yeah.
Everybody's flesh get fucking reapplied to their bones and stuff.
Yeah. And maybe that's just my niche. Maybe that's where I'm at with superheroes. That's the only thing that does it for me anymore.
Yeah, that's where you're like, we got a fucking kaiju.
Yeah, that's right. Fucking kaiju. So I don't know. Let's go to the scoreboard.
Actually, hold on.
Do you got one more thing?
Yeah, I just because we never really talked about Wonder Woman in this movie yet, and just the role of women in this movie is like. There's really only one thing I want to talk about. The first scene where Wonder Woman stops the terrorists, and it's just like very perfunctory. Like, what are you? Well, we're a small group of reactionary terrorists. So, like, they have there's nothing there. It's just like paper thin. But so
back to the Dark Ages, man.
Yeah, and it's so cynical. Like, she saves them, and like just like there's that moment where she like stops the terrorists from shooting all the children, and this little girl is looking up at her. She's like, can I be like you when I grow up? And Gal Gadot says, you can be anything you want to. And like that is completely cut out of the Whedon cut. And I've read some articles. I've read some articles like trashing him for it. For like it's like, like look at the feminist message. But that is like a fucking studio. Like it's like just patting itself on the back for like acknowledging that feminism is a thing. Like there's nothing to that moment. It's completely like illusory.
Given this type of Wonder Woman, I'd agree. But if you go back to in principle, it is what Wonder Woman in the 60s, 70s, 80s became, just like this blank feminist message. And it doesn't fit the fucking character that we see in this movie. Like, she's not that character. She's totally something different. She's just and again, you get it much more in Batman versus Superman. Like, she loves to fight. I don't know.
She's a war goddess. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So I don't know. It just doesn't fit. It's not. It should fit, but it doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what? I guess I think I like the idea, I guess, of that message, but I mean, like, delivered after the brutal and horrific murder of all of those random terrorists.
Yeah.
The one where like an Amazonian came in at hyper speed and like literally threw a bunch of men against the wall so hard that their skulls popped and they just left like blood streaks down the wall and like pools of horrific blood and shit. And then to have that bizarre moment end with like she puts the truth whip on that guy and says that little rhetoric-y thing that Chris just quoted. Like, we're a band of reactionary. Like, okay, the whip makes you tell the truth. The whip doesn't make you literally transcribe embarrassingly what your group is. Like, that's
Exactly.
fucking stupid. You would never say that aloud, even if you were compelled to tell the truth. That's ridiculous. And then to have her come and just tell a kid you can be anything you want. No, you can't fucking be an Amazon. I'm basically the female Superman. Are you kidding? No, you can never be like me. You'll never be like me. Work at fucking Dairy Queen. Fuck off. What are you talking about? Do your best in school, kid. Maybe you can be a fucking horse doctor or something, and you can save horses that get thrown across the fucking map. Anyway, I don't know. It was very glazed over. I'm with you guys.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we gotta go to the store. Let's get a scoreboard after that. That's the final say, man. All right. I'm super hesitant to give this thing a score now. I'm gonna give it. I'm gonna give it 6 out of 10 thrown horses.
Oh wow, I feel like it's low.
It's a good scale.
That's low. Okay.
I don't want to have the last say on this. I'm gonna say 7.5 out of 10. 7 and one severed in half horse.
That's good. Why?
It's high. It's high for me. I'm even considering an 8. I think it was just like, I think it was redone, re-envisioned, reworked cinematography, color, camera work,
really so much
framing,
different.
like just all was different for me. And to the point where like there was like so much work put into it that smoothed it out that I was stunned.
Interesting.
I had nothing to say about that Whedon cut.
Fair.
That was honestly like a kid came to fucking direct the movie and like basically put like an Instagram filter over top of everybody and just shit on it.
All right.
That being said,
next T-shirt, gentlemen.
That being said, I would give it a 5. But I really hated it, but also enjoyed it at the same time. I feel really conflicted about this movie. I think I enjoyed it. I don't know if you guys saw The Room, the Tommy Wiseau film, but I think there's something entertaining about watching someone put together a movie and they don't have taste and they don't have restraint. So if you, for some reason, you're watching this and you haven't seen it, I think you should watch it because it's interesting.
I know about
They don't have
Tommy
taste
Wiseau.
and they don't have restraint.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Have you seen the Tommy Wiseau Star Wars on YouTube?
No. I'm
I'm
going
to share that treat with you guys in a bit.
Sounds good.
All right, but okay. So we have to watch Batman versus Superman. We got to watch Man of Steel. I got to get my moment in the sun, guys.
All right, I'm in it. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I own those both and I love them. So I mean, I'm with you there.
Treat for me.
Yeah, nerd properties are what we do here. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Nothing seems impossible after watching 6 hours of that. So like, this is just a drop in the bucket now. So.
Now, all we need is a little energon and a lot of luck.
Bonus material.
Recording quick. Just get this off everybody's shelf. This is the extended version of the Snyder Cut podcast where we talk about the dream sequence.
Gentlemen, actually, the dream sequence is probably the most important part of that movie. I'm gonna splice this shit back in. Did you guys like collect adjectives for how you described Jared Leto's Joker?
No,
I liked it. I liked it.
I came up with highly delayed savant is what I came up with. He doesn't seem like, I don't know, he just doesn't seem smart. You know, like he seems like he just seems more like a what am I aiming at? Like his intelligence in the bits that we saw only relate to his relationship to Batman. You know, like he doesn't demonstrate that he knows more about anything else, but he knows everything about Batman. You know, so
he's like a fanboy or some shit. Yeah.
You know what though? In all fairness, I don't know that the Joker is really ever portrayed outside of that in any other forum.
No, and
except
that's
for the weird taxi driver movie.
No, in the comics, like he's not. This is a very modern post trying to incorporate Killing Joke aspect of Batman. It's not fundamental to the character. You don't need him to be into some sort of relationship with Batman. That's post Alan Moore.
Yeah, but in this case, in all fairness, it seems like he's arrived on the scene to push Batman's buttons.
Oh yeah, it's super appropriate, but why do you need him? Why do you really need that guy? Fucking shoot that guy in the head. Like anyone got an idea why you need that guy?
No, it isn't clear what he's bringing to the table in the post-apocalyptic everything is destroyed except for like a handful of heroes scenario.
No, that's the mystery, man. No.
Yeah.
That's the mystery. Why are they keeping Jared Leto around? You know, what possible service could he use?
You guys have the opinion that we could have possibly just spliced Tommy Wiseau into that clip?
Oh my god, that would be fucking amazing. Tommy Wiseau's Joker, I need to see it.
Once you see how what they've done, and this doesn't have anything to do with the dream sequence in the Tommy Wiseau Star Wars, is they've cut him in to play Padme. And then just left the rest of the movie as is. It's fucking beautiful. Anyway.
Wow.
That's what.
We can share a link to that. We can share a link to that too. But
I'll put in the show notes, ladies and gentlemen. That's.
The Manhunter too. We haven't like.
Oh, the Manhunter.
What are you gonna say? What are you gonna say about that?
I don't know. Yeah. I was excited because I like the character. Like I mean I don't know. John's cool, but that scene was just very like, I'm telling you a story. Batman just kind of like, oh, cool story, and like there's nothing beyond him just showing up and I guess setting up.
Honestly, Ben's reaction to him was my reaction to him. Oh, gosh, thanks for coming out. See you later, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm glad you're here flying around.
It was just so tacked on. Like I don't know if that was extra footage or what, but like it just felt like really rushed.
It looked like it. Like I was like, is that actually Ben Affleck? Like I was. It doesn't. I just didn't. I was like, who's he talking to? What's going on? Why does he look like a crossing guard in his underwear? What? Like why is he flying off? I don't understand any of like what was the point of that? And then she showed up as like Superman's mom for a bit to talk to Lois Lane. Like why? Yeah, like it's absolutely and completely and totally tacked on that in a way that like actually diminishes from the story. Because I kind of wanted to know what was going to happen with Superman's mom, but now that door is closed to me. So
Yeah, don't worry about that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're saying because like it was revealed that Superman's mom was the Martian Manhunter, like that.
Yeah.
That scene. Yeah, that was weird.
Yeah.
I did find it charming to see Joe Manganiello arrive on the scene as Deathstroke.
Oh, right, that was him, eh? Yeah.
He's a fan favorite, man. They people dreamed of having that big moose fight with the Batfleck, and it never materialized.
He was
It
cool.
a little-
He did look cool. I was pretty excited.
this
for,
was a
for that,
treat.
whatever. Yeah.
For
And I have to
whatever.
say, like, for whatever criticisms I have, I was definitely interested, in like whatever this journey was going to be, like this post-apocalyptic, like everything relies on Lois Lane. Like, I don't know, like the sort of like parallel world things is interesting.
The hatred of Jared Leto's Joker comes from a cross section of people that are butthurt by Heath dying. I think that.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay, cool.
I think
yeah.
that they have like a weird fucking, for some reason, even though nobody gave a shit, really, well, they did care because his performance was fucking stellar. But I mean, like, did anybody care about the guy that was in all those dumb rom-coms? Heath Ledger is just a random Hollywood guy who just all-star performed because he was probably having a mentally ill moment. And he did his great job, and that's fantastic, and it's very tragic, so on and so forth, whatever. But I mean, like, I just feel like people got this weird Kurt Cobain attachment to him.
Yeah.
And then just felt like he was the fucking be-all and end-all. And then nobody wanted to accept any other iteration or interpretation of a character that's widely interpreted in all different sorts of fucking ways. And I think that Jared puts an extra, he put a very hard effort into whatever he's trying to do here with his portrayal of it. And I would say that it's equally at least disturbing and full of effort that any other A-list actor put into it. Mm-hmm. And I just think that he's getting fucking railroaded.
I think that sorry, Chris, I don't know if you had a thing, but I think like there is something about the Joker that he's on par with the cultural position of the Batman, right? And so, if you're going to have this symbol of vigilante justice and control of darkness, then, like the Joker, it's perfect that someone who played him so well commits suicide. He entered into the madness. I think that's something society likes to play with. I remember reading some bits about Jack Nicholson's. There was something about his portrayal that society associated with his actor craziness. It made sense on a tabloid level, and that I don't know. That's just interesting. That's I don't know if it speaks more to the mythos than anything, but his stuff was good.
That makes sense. I think I'm on the end of the people who kind of hate Jared Leto, and I think for me, I don't think I've actually ever seen him in anything. So just like seeing him there, knowing that he's putting so much effort into it, and the fact that he was just cut from the Suicide Squad movie, it all just kind of built up in my mind as like, yeah, fuck this guy, like he's probably sucks. So that's totally not fair at all. But just like that's
pretty fair.
But he, like, I don't know. And then I don't know how I feel about his portrayal in what we saw, but it wasn't like I thought it was going to be like just totally bad, and I think it might just be a little much. But definitely, I'm sure he has his own take on it. And you're right, you're absolutely right to bring up that the Joker goes through different incarnations, almost like there are different takes on this character, or even in comics. So you can have your different versions.
Yeah.
All good points.
Yeah.
Slightly better than my point.
Yeah, I don't know. The Joker's a tough one. Like with the Jared Leto thing, like the only thing that makes him work in the cut scenes from Suicide Squad movie is I think like the decorations around him. You know, they just give him his this like controlled anarchy. It's like a hallucinogenic environment. Like it just looks really interesting, but he's a nothing burger Joker. You know, like he's, yeah, I don't know. Like, he doesn't feel dangerous. He just feels like kind of weird.
Yeah, I don't think he's given any room to deliver anything, though.
Well, he's never been dangerous. He's always been
he's not even a character in the movie. It's like they're like, oh, give him a snippet of the Joker because we need to have the Joker somewhere. We're DC. Or like, and there he is. Fuck, he didn't do anything. He just talks some shit. So,
yeah.
Did anybody else notice the Dark Knight Easter egg thing?
No.
The Batfleck standing on the tank.
Oh no, I didn't notice that really.
That passed by you guys?
Yeah.
No. There was a bunch of Dark Knight, but they were all in the previous movie. Like he practically quotes. Well, he does. He absolutely quotes direct scenes from Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah. But I just mean in this one they actually showed the tank.
Yeah.
From when he beat that punk in the mud.
Maybe a way to wrap it up is like, did you guys see that David Ayer guy? Is that his name? Like the director of Suicide Squad, agitating for his own cut, his own director's cut, some restored Joker footage probably. No,
sorry,
it's gonna happen.
I hope so. I like that guy. The only other movie of his I've seen is it's with Brad Pitt and the tank movie Fury. I got a lot of affection for that movie. That's a fun movie, and I don't know. Maybe he should get a cut. I don't know.
No, I don't. No, I think I'm good with that though. I don't think you should start throwing around cuts to everybody.
Cuts. Well, everybody likes a cut.
No, I like Zack Snyder's cuts. That's it.
Okay.
There's only some people that can come to the party. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got to be big. Like if you told me James Cameron was sick of some shit and he wanted to do a cut, let's see it. You know.
Right.
It's got to be big. Don't fucking come out here with these nobodies.
Okay. Cut.